There are days when the sky feels heavy, when the wind refuses to move, when even your own heartbeat seems louder than the world outside. On those days, life feels like it is testing you, as if it wants to see how much weight a single soul can carry before it breaks. When life feels heavy, when the world seems to be falling apart around you, when nothing looks the way you hoped it would, there is a small but powerful choice you can make to be happy anyway. This is not about pretending everything is fine, not about ignoring the pain or denying the weight you carry. It is about choosing to hold on to the light even when the night feels endless. Life will always bring moments that shake you, moments that leave you breathless, wondering how you will take the next step. But in those moments, happiness becomes more than just a feeling. It becomes an act of courage, a decision you make in the middle of chaos to say, I will not let this define me. Because happiness does not always come wrapped in perfect circumstances. Sometimes it comes in the smallest things. A quiet cup of tea, a deep breath after crying, a friend who sends a message at the right time, the sun peeking through the clouds after days of rain. These are not accidents. These are reminders that life is still worth living, even when it hurts. Choosing happiness in hard times is like planting flowers in dry soil. At first, it feels useless. You water and care for something that shows no sign of life, and people might even laugh, saying nothing will grow there. But slowly, with patience and faith, small green leaves begin to push through the dirt. They take time. They need your care. Happiness in hard times is the same. It will not bloom overnight. It will grow with each small decision you make to find beauty in places where others only see darkness. It grows when you decide to notice the things that are still good, still kind, still worth holding on to. There is a strength inside you that you often forget about. A strength that has carried you through every bad day before this one. A strength that whispers to you, even when the world is loud with worry and fear. That strength is where happiness begins. It is not in waiting for life to be easy, but in deciding to smile even when it is hard. Because if you wait for the perfect moment, you might wait your entire life. But when you choose happiness today, right now, in the middle of the storm, you take back your power. You tell life, you can be heavy, but you will not break me. And slowly, the weight feels lighter because your spirit grows stronger. The truth is, life will never stop testing you. There will always be things you cannot control, losses you cannot avoid, questions that have no answers. But you can control how much space you give to pain inside your heart. You can control whether you let bitterness grow or whether you plant seeds of gratitude instead. Choosing happiness does not mean you never feel sad. It means you refuse to stay there forever. It means you look for reasons to be thankful, even when you are tired. It means you keep moving forward, even when it would be easier to give up. It means you choose to see the beauty in a world that often feels broken. And in doing so, you create more beauty around you. Planting the seed of joy within yourself is not something that happens by accident. It is a deliberate act, a quiet promise you make to your own heart, that no matter how harsh the seasons may be, you will not let your soul become barren. When life feels cold and the winds of disappointment blow against you, it can be tempting to wait for happiness, to arrive from somewhere outside, to hope that one day circumstances will change, and then you will finally feel alive again. But happiness does not grow that way. It is not a gift that someone hands to you. It is a seed you plant with your own hands in the soil of your spirit, even when the ground feels dry and hard, even when the storms keep coming, even when everything around you says nothing will grow here. You begin small. Some days it might feel like all you have is a single seed of hope, fragile and uncertain. But even the smallest seed carries life inside it. That seed could be a single moment of gratitude for the things you still have, a simple smile you give to a stranger, a quiet walk where you let your mind rest instead of running in circles. Each of these small acts is like pressing the seed into the soil, covering it gently, whispering to yourself that life is still worth caring for. It might feel foolish at first because nothing changes overnight. You water the soil with patience, with kindness to yourself, with the decision to notice the little things. The way the morning light spills through the window, the laughter you hear from across the street, the taste of warm tea on a cold day. These things seem small, but they are the sunlight and rain your seed needs. There will be days when the ground looks empty, when you wonder if anything is happening at all, when you feel like giving up because you cannot see any sign of growth. But underneath, where your eyes cannot see, roots are forming. Slowly, quietly, they begin to take hold, to reach deeper, to prepare for what is to come. Joy grows the same way. It begins in places no one can see. In the way you learn to forgive yourself, in the way you choose to let go of bitterness, in the way you begin to believe that you deserve happiness, even if life has been unkind before. These are the roots. They make you stronger long before anyone sees the flowers. One day, without warning, the first green shoots break through. A laugh comes more easily. A moment of peace lasts longer than you expected. Something beautiful happens, and you actually feel it instead of brushing it aside. This is the beginning of your seed turning into life. It keeps growing as long as you keep tending to it, as long as you keep choosing gratitude over bitterness, kindness over anger, hope over despair. No one else can do this work for you. It belongs to you alone, this quiet garden inside your heart. And when it begins to bloom, you realize it was never about waiting for the perfect season. It was about planting and watering even when the storms came, because that is how joy takes root. Not in the easy days, but in the hard ones, when you refuse to stop caring for the seed within you. Taking small steps forward, even in the middle of storms, is one of the hardest yet most powerful things you can do for yourself when life feels like it's falling apart. The weight of challenges often makes you believe you have to fix everything at once, that you must find a way to make the entire storm disappear before you can breathe again. But the truth is, no one clears the skies overnight. The rain falls as it pleases, the winds rage when they want to, and the thunder doesn't ask for your permission. You can't control the storm, but you can control your next step. And sometimes, that single step is enough to keep you from sinking completely. When life feels heavy, even the smallest movement forward matters. It might be something simple. Getting out of bed when your body feels like stone. Drinking a glass of water when you've lost the appetite for everything. Going outside for 5 minutes just to feel the air on your face. These things may seem small, but they are acts of defiance against the darkness trying to settle inside you. They are proof that even though life is trying to pull you down, you still have the strength to rise, even if only by an inch. People often wait for motivation to come before they move, but motivation doesn't fall from the sky like rain. It grows as you move, as you take action, as you remind yourself that you are capable of more than you think. A small step forward might not solve everything, but it changes something important inside you. It shifts you from being stuck to moving, from feeling powerless to proving that you still have control over how you respond to life. Storms have a way of making you believe there is no point in trying. The wind screams, the rain blinds, the sky turns dark, and you feel like nothing you do will matter. But even in the worst weather, a single light can be seen for miles. Your small steps are that light. They are how you tell the storm it can rage all it wants, but it will not keep you frozen. It helps to remember that progress doesn't always look like big victories. Sometimes it looks like showing up for work when you feel like quitting. Sometimes it looks like sending a message to a friend instead of isolating yourself. Sometimes it's choosing to eat something healthy when everything in you wants to give up. These moments might feel too small to matter, but they are the stitches that keep your life from falling apart completely. Each step forward builds momentum, and momentum is what eventually carries you out of the storm. One day you'll look back and realize that while you were busy taking small steps, the rain slowly stopped, the clouds slowly parted, and the sun slowly returned. But it all began with refusing to stay still when life tried to paralyze you. That refusal, that choice to keep moving even with shaking hands and a tired heart, is how you reclaim your power when everything feels uncertain. Learning to smile and laugh despite challenges is not about pretending everything is fine when it is not. It is about giving yourself permission to feel light even when the weight of the world rests on your shoulders. Life has a way of piling troubles on top of each other until it feels like you are buried beneath them. And in those moments, the last thing you feel like doing is smiling. But sometimes that is exactly when you need it most. A smile in the middle of a storm is not weakness, it is rebellion. It is a quiet declaration that your spirit will not be defeated by circumstances you cannot control. There is a reason children laugh so easily. They fall, they cry, but moments later they find something to giggle about, something that lifts them out of their sadness as if it never existed. Somewhere along the way, as we grow older, we forget how to do that. We start believing that happiness must wait until everything in life is perfect, that we must solve all our problems before we can allow ourselves to feel joy. But if you keep waiting for the perfect moment, you will wait forever, because life will always have challenges. There will always be another mountain to climb, another wound to heal, another question without an answer. Smiling in the middle of all that is not denial. It is choosing not to let pain have the final word. Sometimes, you have to search for the little things that bring laughter back into your life. A funny memory, a song that makes you want to dance, a conversation with someone who knows how to make you smile even on your worst days. These things might feel small, but they are powerful because they remind you that there is still goodness left in the world, still beauty, still reasons to breathe deeply and keep going. Laughter has a way of breaking the tension in your chest, of loosening the knots tied by worry and fear. Even if it lasts only for a moment, it creates space inside you where hope can enter again. It is not about forcing yourself to be happy all the time. It is about allowing yourself to taste happiness even when everything is not perfect. Some days, it might feel like a fake smile at first, like laughter that doesn't quite reach your heart. But slowly, those moments become real, because you are reminding yourself what it feels like to be alive, to experience joy without needing permission from life to do so. When you laugh in the middle of pain, you are not ignoring reality, you are refusing to let reality harden you. You are telling yourself that life is more than this one moment of difficulty. Smiling does not mean you are not hurting. It means you are choosing to remember that pain is only one part of the story, not the whole story. The world may not change immediately. Your problems may not disappear overnight, but inside you, something shifts. The heaviness becomes a little lighter, the darkness a little less overwhelming, the road ahead a little less lonely. Because laughter is proof that even in the middle of struggles, the human spirit can still rise, still find beauty, still hold on to pieces of joy like lifelines in the storm. Hardships have a way of shaping you in ways comfort never can. When life feels smooth and easy, you rarely stop to think about who you are becoming. But when storms come, when things fall apart, when nothing goes according to plan, that is when you are forced to meet parts of yourself you never knew existed. It is in the silence after disappointment, in the emptiness after loss, in the long nights of worry and fear, that resilience begins to grow. It doesn't grow in the sunshine when everything feels perfect. It grows in the cold, in the dark, in the places where you have no choice but to stand back up, even when you feel like collapsing. There is a strength inside you that you only discover when life pushes you to the edge. You may think you are breaking, but really, Something deep inside is forming, a kind of unshakable core that refuses to give up no matter how many times you fall. Every challenge you face teaches you something about yourself. It teaches you how to be patient when things take longer than you hoped. It teaches you how to stay calm when nothing feels certain. It teaches you how to fight for your peace when the world tries to steal it. People often believe that resilience means never feeling pain, never feeling fear, never feeling tired. But resilience is not about being made of stone. It is about feeling every ounce of pain and getting back up anyway. It is about walking through the fire and coming out stronger, even if you were shaking the whole time. It is about knowing that you can bend without breaking, that you can fall and rise again, that you can lose and still keep moving forward. Hardships leave marks on you, but they don't have to leave you bitter. They can leave you wiser instead. They can teach you how to let go of what you cannot control, how to protect your heart without hardening it, how to appreciate small joys that once went unnoticed. Pain has a way of stripping life down to its essentials, showing you what really matters and what never did. The things you thought you couldn't live without often fade into the background, while the simple things, a quiet evening, a kind word, a moment of peace, become treasures you hold close. Every time you survive something that once felt impossible, you carry a piece of that strength with you. It becomes part of who you are, part of the way you see the world. The next time a storm comes, you remember what you've already survived, and it makes you braver. You begin to trust yourself more. You begin to realize that no matter what happens, you have the power to keep moving, to keep breathing, to keep living even when life feels heavy. Hardships are not the end of your story. They are the chapters where the character grows, where the turning points happen, where the strength is built quietly in the background, while everything else seems to be falling apart. One day, you look back and see that the things you hated going through were the very things that taught you how to stand tall, how to protect your peace, how to keep your heart soft even in a world that can be so harsh. Protecting your inner peace like a fire that refuses to go out begins with understanding that the world will always have noise, chaos, and distractions waiting to steal your calm. There will always be people who misunderstand you, situations that frustrate you, moments that test your patience and kindness. If you allow every voice, every storm, every careless word to enter your heart, you will feel exhausted long before the day ends. Your peace is like a flame burning inside you. It gives you warmth, light, and strength. But like any fire, it can be smothered if you do not guard it carefully. There will be times when you want to explain yourself to everyone, to fight back against every unfair moment, to argue with every critic who doesn't see your worth. But peace comes when you realize you do not have to respond to everything. You do not have to prove anything to people who have already decided not to understand you. Sometimes silence protects you more than 1,000 words ever could. Not everything deserves your energy. Some things are better left unanswered, because your peace is worth more than being right all the time. Protecting your inner fire also means choosing where your attention goes. Whatever you focus on grows stronger. If you keep feeding your mind with negativity, with anger, with things that drain you, the fire inside you will grow weaker. But when you choose to focus on gratitude, on hope, on the beauty that still exists in small corners of life, your inner flame burns brighter. That flame needs kindness, rest, and moments of stillness. It needs you to step back sometimes, to breathe deeply, to let go of what you cannot control. People might call you distant when you protect your peace. They might say you have changed because you no longer react to everything the way you once did. But that is not distance. That is wisdom. It is knowing the difference between battles worth fighting and battles that only leave you empty. It is refusing to let the chaos of the world enter your mind like an open door. It is learning that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is stay calm while everything around you tries to pull you into the storm. Protecting your inner fire also means setting boundaries without guilt. It means saying no when you need to, even if people expect you to always say yes. It means walking away from situations that drain your spirit, even if others don't understand. It means giving yourself permission to rest, to be alone, to recharge without apologizing for it. A fire that burns non-stop without fuel will eventually burn out. In the same way, you need time to refuel your spirit, to fill your heart with things that bring you peace instead of chaos. The world will not slow down for you. Problems will not stop appearing. People will not always be kind. But when you protect your peace like a fire that refuses to go out, you carry your warmth with you, no matter where you go. You stop waiting for the world to be calm before you can feel calm inside. You become the calm. You become the light. You become the steady flame that keeps burning, even when the winds try to blow it out, because you have learned that peace is not given to you by life. It is something you create, something you guard, something you choose over and over again. When you look at everything together, it all comes down to this: life will not always be easy. Storms will come, and the weight of the world will sometimes feel too heavy to carry. But in the middle of all that, you still have a choice. You can choose to plant joy in your own heart, to take small steps forward when everything around you tells you to give up, to laugh and smile even when the world expects you to break, to let hardships shape you into someone stronger instead of someone bitter, and to protect your inner peace like the most precious thing you own. Happiness is not about waiting for life to be perfect. It is about refusing to let life's imperfections steal your light, about creating warmth and beauty even in the coldest seasons, about becoming the kind of soul that keeps shining no matter how dark the night gets.